Welcome to week 2 in our National Nutrition Month series, Function of Food. And this week, the function that we're focusing on is mood. And this shouldn't be, hopefully many of you guys have been with me for several years. We've covered this topic a lot. It's been super trendy in the news recently, the way that food interacts with your brain chemistry, both in the short term, so on a daily basis, how does what we eat, those eating patterns and specific nutrients influence our day-to-day mood and energy levels? And also, how does it influence our brain health long term? We're going to focus, since this is only 10 to 15 minutes, we're going to really focus on that short term, but there will certainly be some bullet points as it relates to long-term. Nutritional psychiatry is the name of this growing body of research. The brain demands a constant supply of energy. About 20% of your daily calorie needs go directly to your brain. I think a lot of people, when we think about our energy needs, we think, oh, well, I've been really sedentary. I've been sitting in front of a computer. I really don't need to eat anything today. But think about all of your body's organs. All of your organs require energy to work efficiently. So your brain requires 20% of your daily calorie intake, as well as, your digestive system, your liver, your kidneys, your heart, all of these chemical reactions that are happening inside of your body, they all require energy, and energy comes in the form of calories. Carbohydrates are the preferred source of energy for your brain. What we eat directly affects the structure and function of our brain and ultimately our mood. Emerging research. People rarely associate food with mental health, but research suggests we should all think again. Nearly 1 in 5 adults in the U.S. lives with some form of mental illness, such as depression or anxiety. 1 in 5. I want to take a second and really let that sink in. 1 in 5 in the U.S. lives with some form of mental illness, such as depression or anxiety. Those are probably the two most common. So if this is something that you deal with, you are not alone. I think it's really important to keep that in mind. Mental illness changes a person's thinking, feelings, or behavior, and all these changes can cause distress and difficulty in functioning, whether it's physical functioning or brain functioning, like making decisions, thinking clearly, and those sorts of things. Our brains involve complex neurotransmitter signaling that is supported by good nutrition. Eating pattern and mental health. First, let's focus on, we'll kind of cover some specific nutrients that are great for your brain health, but let's talk about an overall eating pattern. Eating enough food and focusing on nutrient-dense foods may help us think better and feel better while preventing deficiencies. So nutrient-dense foods are those foods that provide a lot of nutrients when compared to the calorie intake. So salmon, for example, you're getting calories, but you're also getting omega-3s, you're getting B vitamins, you're getting, I'm blanking, some vitamin D, you're getting all these other vitamins and minerals, and also things called phytochemicals or phytonutrients, which there are thousands of them, and we don't yet know enough about a lot of them, but these are things like antioxidants. They have some positive function in the body. So that is a nutrient-dense foods that provide not only calories, but other nutrients that are good for us as well. Deficiencies of vitamins, minerals, amino acids, and omega-3 fatty acids are associated with a higher prevalence of mood disorders. A whole food diet consisting of higher intakes of vegetables, fruits, seafood, whole grains, lean meats, nuts, and legumes, plus, so a diet high in all of those things, plus a diet that avoids processed foods, is more likely to provide the nutrients that bolster resiliency against mental health disorders. Some examples of these would be the Mediterranean style of eating or the MIND diet. And MIND is an acronym that begins with Mediterranean. I can't remember the IND off the top of my head. I believe it starts with Mediterranean, something, nutrient, and then depression. Mediterranean diet that fights depression, something along those lines. I'm going to get back to you guys in my email recap on what MIND stands for. I'm not going to go through this whole slide. It talks about the Mediterranean eating pattern. Basically, in this previous slide, a diet that has higher intakes of vegetables, fruits, seafood, whole grains, lean meats, nuts, and legumes. That is a Mediterranean style of eating. Remember, just like when we talked about food and immune function, there is no one magic brain food or magic nutrient that will keep your memory sharp. But the idea here is to focus on an overall eating pattern of whole foods to reduce saturated fat and added sugar. And I believe I said this last week, but keep in mind that no one food acts in a silo by itself, right? All the foods that we eat have a variety of nutrients and they work in tandem with each other. For example, vitamin D requires fat for absorption. So you can eat as much vitamin D as you want, but it's not going to work properly unless you also have a fat source in your diet. So remember that all of these nutrients work together. Foods to pack on your plate for a healthy mood and mind. These are always the slides that people enjoy. Let me double check my time. All right, we've got about 7 more minutes. Omega-3 fatty acids. These promote overall brain health, like memory, cognition, which is your ability to think clearly, make sound decisions. Omega-3 is also an anti-inflammatory. Low omega-3 fatty acids circulating in your blood have been correlated with depression and impulsivity, so making impulsive decisions. I think that's interesting. We've got some food sources at the bottom: fatty fish, olive oil, vegetable oils, nut oils and nuts, seeds and seed oils, eggs, avocado, and then small amounts. Green veggies aren't typically a high-fat food, so you're not going to get all of your omega-3s from Brussels sprouts, broccoli, and leafy greens, but they do have trace amounts. The trace amount of fat in those vegetables is a healthy omega-3 fat. Antioxidants have been negatively associated with depression. Vitamin C is an antioxidant in particular that is needed for the synthesis of serotonin and norepinephrine. Serotonin is the neurotransmitter that makes us feel happy. It's a mood booster. And norepinephrine is a hormone and neurotransmitter that causes that fight or flight response. So being able to respond to our different stimuli in a positive way. So serotonin and norepinephrine, they both require vitamin C for our body to make those. Antioxidants offset regularly occurring oxidative stress and inflammation from exercise and the environment. So while exercise is healthy, it does cause aches and pains and inflammation. Our environment, such as secondhand smoke or smog, if we live in a heavily polluted area, or excessive alcohol intake, antioxidants help offset any negative consequences from those types of things. Antioxidants prevent oxidative damage that we see in dementia. So when we look at people in old age who suffer from dementia or Alzheimer's dementia, we see oxidative damage in the brain. Food sources. Eat the rainbow. Lots of fruits, especially berries, those deep red and purple colors are great sources of antioxidants. Vegetables, spices and herbs, coffee, red wine, yay, and chocolate, yay. B vitamins, particularly B6, B9, which is also called folate or folic acid, and B12. Those are 3 that in particular are important for brain function. They're involved in brain development when we're at younger ages, and central nervous system function. B vitamins are also required for our body to make serotonin. Again, this is that neurotransmitter that contributes to feelings of well-being and happiness. Serotonin also plays a role in cognition, our ability to think clearly, make good decisions. It plays a role in learning and creating memories and recalling memories. B vitamins also play a role in metabolism. They convert macronutrients into energy. So all of the carbohydrates, protein, and fat that you eat, they provide calories, and those calories go through a chemical reaction in the body that turns them into actual energy. So you need B vitamins in order to make that conversion. Some correlations between B vitamins. B vitamin and depression are correlated. So low blood circulation of B6 is correlated with depression. Low blood circulation of folic acid, or B9, is correlated with depression and mood disorders. And low levels of B12 is correlated with depression, irritability, and agitation. Food sources of B vitamins, you see there on the left-hand side, beans, also dark green veggies, fish, dairy products, eggs, whole grains, and fortified cereals, and citrus fruit. Vitamin E, this might be our last specific nutrient that we're going to talk about today. Vitamin E is also an antioxidant vitamin. It preserves brain function and may prevent or slow the rate of cognitive decline with aging. That says gaining, that's a typo. Some food sources of vitamin E are vegetable oils, nuts and nut oils, seeds and seed oils, which we see all of those on the left, and green vegetables. Oh, this must be our last one. Vitamin D, this is actually my favorite nutrient. Vitamin D is nicknamed the happiness vitamin for its association with feelings of happiness. So when we think about our mood on a day-to-day basis, it's important that we have enough vitamin D. Vitamin D also aids the development of the brain and nervous system. Your skin synthesizes vitamin D from sunlight. Most of us probably know this. Because vitamin D is a happiness vitamin and there's less sunlight during the colder months, this might be part of the reason why many of us feel less happy during the winter. Food sources of vitamin E are eggs, fish, enriched juice and milk, and enriched cereals. So I'm going to say it again. I'll probably say it every week that we go over this. It's a lifestyle, not a diet. So this should be part of your overall approach to healthy eating. It's not a diet. We shouldn't approach, eating for brain health as a diet. We should approach it as this is the way we're going to live our healthy lifestyle. And now with that, I will go ahead and minimize my screen and take some questions. So everybody's aware, the slide deck will be sent out. If you were on my email list last week, anybody that registered for this session or Thursday's session, I'll send you a copy of the slide deck and I'll send you a recording. I'll try to get to it on Friday. If not, it'll be on Monday. And so you'll have this slide deck. You'll have all these great Motiva and HR nutrition related programs. And find Flick Hospitality on social media.